From now on, we will study about the first sort of the subordinating conjunction as a pronoun, which is applied in the subordinate clause as a pronoun. The pronoun that with the trait as an indicative pronoun indicates the subordinate clause in the main clause. The subordinating conjunction that as a constituent in the main clause links the subordinate clause to the main clause. The pronoun that indicates the entire subordinate clause as the equal indication. In the main clause, the trait of the subordinating conjunction that as a pronoun has the role as a subject. The subordinate clause linked by the subordinating conjunction that also has the trait as the subject. In the main clause, with the subordinating conjunction that whose role is the object. The subordinate clause linked by the subordinating conjunction that also has the trait as the object, same as the subordinating conjunction that. The subject or object indicated by the pronoun that in the main clause is the same as the subject described by the predicate in the subordinate clause. The subject or object indicated by the pronoun that as the subordinating conjunction is the same as the described subject in the subordinate clause. Because the subordinate clause is able to be summarized as a description about the subject. The indicative pronoun that indicates a subject that does not participate in the conversation with the speaker and is far from the speaker. This indicative pronoun that is applied in the sentence to link the subordinate clause to the main clause. And we've dealt with the equality of the pronoun that as a subordinating conjunction with the subordinate clause. Described subject. So we can have a question. The occurrence, the number, the subordinating conjunction that. The pronoun as a subordinating conjunction that indicates a described subject from the verb in the subordinate clause. The subject and the described subject are different. The subject is allocated with the specific borderline of the indication. The described subject is allocated with the enlarged range that includes the indication about the subject, the only subject. The indication on eraser and the other indication on eraser belongs to you. Different. So the pronoun as the subordinating conjunction that remains the same form irrelevant to the number of the subject in the subordinate clause because the pronoun that indicates the different subject from the subject in the subordinate clause. There are four. The first sentence is this: that you drink water is good. This sentence conveys the same intention of the speaker with this sentence. It is good that you drink water. The speaker links the subordinate clause to indicate the subject, you, described by the transitive verb drink in the subordinate clause, as the subject of the be verb is in the main clause with the subordinating conjunction that. The subordinating conjunction that indicates the entire subordinate clause. You drink water. So we can consider the main clause is this: that is good. And the subordinate clause is this: you drink water. The subordinating conjunction that as a pronoun practices the role as the subject in this clause. So the subordinate clause, you drink water, also has the role as the subject in this main clause. The pronoun that indicates the subordinate clause that is applied as a subordinating conjunction in the main clause. The subordinating conjunction that indicates the subordinate clause and the subordinating conjunction that practices the role as the subject in the main clause. The speaker replaces the subordinate clause with the preparatory it to convey the condition described by the be verb is in the main clause. Ahead of the transitive verb drink to describe the action of the subject in the subordinate clause. The speaker replaces the subject of the main clause with the preparatory it. The term preparatory reveals that the speaker intends the listeners to prepare the statement of the subordinate clause after the main clause is completely stated. The preparatory it is applied to reveal the intention of the speaker the be verb is included in the main clause. The speaker conveys the main intention with the main clause. So the speaker intends the be verb is stated ahead of the transitive verb drink in the subordinate clause. So the preparatory it replaces the subject of the main clause to include the subordinate clause. You drink water. The speaker states the subordinate clause linked by the subordinating conjunction that after the main clause is completely stated, so that the speaker prioritizes the description of the verb in the main clause.